Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you everything that you'll need to know about a sewing pattern envelope. So there's a lot of information. The first thing to note is the number here, R10980. That's just the pattern number. That's the number, like say if you knew you wanted to buy this pattern, you take that number and give it to the cashier and they would get this pattern for you. And then they also have in the same area the sizes. So all the sizes in this envelope are between 6 and 14. So all those sizes between 6 and 14 are in this envelope. And then the sizes underneath that are just the European and French sizes. And then when you turn to the back, you'll see there's writing on the flap here. There's usually sizing on this flap. So if you can't find sizing information anywhere else, check the flap just in case, because it's most likely there. And most people end up being between sizes. I think you're lucky if you're not. For example, a lot of people might be size 12 for the waist and 18 for the hips or something like that, which can make it frustrating that the sizes in here are just between 6 and 14. So a lot of people end up having to buy two pattern envelopes of the same thing. But before you do that, one thing you can check on here is the finished garment measurements, because if it's not a very fitted garment, you could probably get away with wearing one or two sizes smaller than you normally would. For example, let's see up here. So we'll just use size 8 as an example. So for size 8, the bust measurement is 31.5 inches. But the finished measurement for the bust at size 8 is 37 inches. So as you can see, there's some extra room there. There's actually quite a bit of extra room. So you could get away with wearing, cutting yourself a size that may be technically supposed to be too small for your bust, based on their measurements, but it would actually fit. It just might be more fitted than the pattern intends. So yeah, I guess that would be in the example if someone's bust measurement was larger than their waist measurement or something like that. So there is some wiggle room. Just make sure you check out those finished garment sizes. Okay, so another thing to note though, if you're making something like leggings, for example, sometimes we have something called a negative ease, and that's where the actual leggings, once they're sewn together, are smaller than your body measurements because they stretch out and they're very fitted. So sometimes you will see a negative ease, so just to let you know that is done on purpose. And another thing to note is, so here, the very top is the list of fabrics you'll need. So it will have a bunch of suggestions of fabric types. For this, it has brocade, damask wool types, velvet, shantung, but you don't have to use only this list of fabrics. I think as long as you make sure that that the fabric you're picking has the proper weight and drape that's suitable for the garment, then you should be fine. If you're not sure, I always recommend asking someone who works at the fabric store and showing them the pattern you plan to use. The one thing I will say also though is just make sure, these are wovens, right? So I would suggest sticking to a woven and not using a knit for a pattern that's made for wovens or anything like that. And then another thing they have is this pick a knit rule, which helps you choose, because for this piece here, that's knit fabric. So they have this line here, and what you're supposed to do is stretch out the fabric. So this is where the fabric should naturally end, and you hold it and test to see if you can stretch it comfortably all the way to this line here. And if you can't, then it's probably not suitable for the project. So I'll just show you quickly what I mean. Alright, so when you're doing this, you want to make sure you have the selvage running this way. So the selvage is going up and down. And you don't want to pick an area of the fabric that's really close to either edge. So I'm just kind of going down a bit. And I think I actually have it double layered. Hold on. Yeah. So then we'll hold it. We'll line up our fabric with the end of this section here, holding it, and then just grab wherever it naturally, the fabric naturally sits at this point. And then we're just going to see if it stretches all the way to the end of the box, which I hope you can see, but it is reaching the end of the box here, and that's what you want. So that's perfect. And then, yeah, you also have here's a list of all the notions you might need. So anything like buttons, threads, buckles, anything like that is going to be in your notions section. And then you have the amounts of fabric you need. So they have, see for the coat here, they have 45 star or asterisk, and then 60 underneath it for the coat. And what that means is if the fabric on the bolt is 45 inches wide, then let's just pretend I'm size 6 and I'm making the coat. So if I'm buying fabric that's 45 inches wide, I need 3.5 yards. But if the fabric that I picked is 60 inches wide on the bolt, then I only need 2 yards and 5/8 of a yard. So that's really good to take note of, because you might accidentally buy too little fabric or way too much. And if you're not sure how wide your fabric is, it should say on the end of the bolt, there's usually like a sticker or writing that says how wide it is. So just make sure you take a look at that. And then there's usually, so the fabric that you need will be in a list sort of like this. So you need something for the coat, contrast fabric for the coat. So the main fabric that they're talking about is for the black, and then the contrast is referring to the white. And then we have lining, interfacing, and then how much fabric I would need for the unitard, which is view B. And then just some extra things that we have. We have the line art here, which I find really useful. It just gives you a good idea of how many seams you're going to be sewing and how many pieces you're going to need to cut out, where all the style lines are and things like that. And then you also have, it tells you at the top here how many pattern pieces you're getting in the envelope. So this one comes with 19 pieces. But for example, if this was a pattern of 2 different dresses with a view A and a view B, you might not be using all 19 pieces, depending on what view you use. So just keep that in mind. You don't need to use all 19 pieces. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the outside of the envelope. I'm going to be doing another video about everything on the inside. See how they have, you know, a lot more information on the papers inside. So I'll be going over that in the next video, and yeah, so I hope that was helpful. And as you can see, it's really not that intimidating at all. It just looks like a lot, but it's really not so bad at all. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought. Is there anything you didn't know before, or did you know all of it already? I actually didn't realize what a lot of these numbers meant until after I'd already been sewing for like 2 or 3 years or something like that. So yeah, just leave a comment and let me know. Thanks. Bye.